Alright, welcome back to Bankscore Traders Hub. Yeah, good morning. Right about now, we are going to get started. As usual, we start with a prayer and then get into our daily routine of analyzing the markets. So let's start and look at the charts. Father, we give you praise, we love you. Thank you for today. Thank you for this beautiful morning. It is 16th of June 2025, Lord. We are here. It is a Monday, Lord. We've started a new week. Lord, we give you praise for whatever happened the last week, the money that we make, and even the losses. We know that if there are some that are still in losses that haven't recovered, we know that you will still recover and be able to give them even more profits. We come now today, this morning, asking you for your grace. Be part of us, Lord. Your Holy Spirit, be part of us as we even analyze and get the insights. We know that it's you that has a well of knowledge. You're the one that gives us wisdom and knowledge. So we know that even right now, as we start trading, as we start to analyze today, you're giving us great insights according to what we know and what you also know, Lord. We give you praise, we love you. In Jesus' name we prayed. Amen. All right. All right, so we are starting as usual with Crash 500. Crash 500. So let's get started. Let's get started. Crash 500. So what did we had Sunday, Friday, Thursday and Friday, we never had sessions. I thought I would actually do a session on Thursday evening, but I wasn't able still. So apologies on Friday and Thursday. Thursday and Friday, we never had sessions. So it means as we analyze, we are going back all the way to Wednesday, the last time we analyzed this. So Wednesday, let's look at Wednesday. So on Wednesday, this is Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So yeah, so Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, we were looking for this kind of move. Let me drag this about here. So we were looking for something like this. We were looking for something like that. This was a sort of a rising wedge. So we were looking for a pullback to get to this level and probably even to this other level, and then we start buys. You can see that other support level. Now price did not give that to us. We actually saw price go back. So you could have used this like that. We actually saw price go back into buys and actually went all the way to the upper resistance level, and that's when the sales started. And it came to our level that we had intended to reach at first, right here. So this support kept holding. And reflected price to go all the way up. So for now, we don't need everything right here. We now need to see what is happening after that. After what happened on Monday, we now need to see what is happening today. So first go to H4. Let me understand that okay, that was a break of structure right there. If I go to daily, is it a break of structure? Not really. So daily, we are still looking for sales. So it was never a break of structure. See, daily, yeah, actually it was a break of structure. The weirdest, this is a weirdest break of structure, but clearly that was a break of structure even on the daily time frame. Yeah, Even on the daily time frame, that is a break of structure. It has come back, it has gone all the way back here. I can now take away this and use actually this one for now. According to H4, that's where we see price reacting to. Now, there's a confluence that it has left here according to H4. So it's likely to come back there and then get us into sales again. Now, you don't want to yeah. According to H4, we are selling already. That's for sure. That's what's happening, and clearly one can easily see it in a channel. One can say it has been in a channel like there, like that. One may say it's been in a channel right there. You can see that. That's what we've been seeing. That's what we've been seeing. So right about now, just a minute. All right, so we are seeing that kind of a channel, and now we know that channels normally, of course, they follow the trend. You are seeing that is a break of structure, that is a break of structure, that is a break of structure. So we are seeing it happen every now and then. So for now, what we need, look at H1. You can see properly where H1 is reacting from. I hope it is that, almost is on that order block. Okay, so can we still use it? Not really. So it's likely to get us into sales again. It's likely to get us into sales again, because right here we never had a change of character. Okay, one may say this is a change of character. This is a lower, this is a lower, that is a lower high right there. That is a lower high right there that has been broken. One may say that is a change of character, but is it something that we normally look for as a reversal? If I go to H1, H4, that is just a pullback to give us a lower high to get us back into sales. So I wouldn't look for buys right here. I will just wait. Let me go to M15 and see. Yes, M15 is confirming that clearly, meaning M15 is actually giving us a reversal signal from buys to sells, meaning we are coming again into sales. So what do? We need a pullback just right there and then continue with sales. That's what we need to look at. That's what we need to look at. So for today, you want to look at sales, not buys. You want to look at sales, not buys. But in as much as you're looking for sales, I want to remind you there is a conference right here, conference area right there. Price has been reacting to that level several times, so that can be a weak resistance level that we have to first handle before we continue with sales. So you need to know this before you actually make your entries. So probably you may see a pullback all the way back and then get enough momentum to break this weak support level right here. So for now, that's nothing. That's something you have to first wait for price to break through this weak resistance level, then you can anticipate something like that. When it has broken it out, then retest, then continue with sales. All right, I think that's enough on crash 500. That's enough on crash 500. Let's now get ourselves into boom 1000. Let's get into boom 1000. I hope my sound is clear. If it is not, please let me know so that I can sort it out immediately. If it is not, let me know, I sort it immediately. So boom 1000. Let's first go to Wednesday. Yeah, all the TP points were hit right here like we needed. Those were TP levels. So for now, let's first go to Wednesday. So what happened on Wednesday? This is Sunday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday we were looking for the breakout, then pullback, then we enter. Now the breakout that happened, it was a short one, and I remember actually having some buy entries right here. So those who never took their profits right there and kept in some buys, you know that you were taken out, because right after that move, price broke structure right there. That was a break of structure. I always tell you, if you're not a market mover, you have to take your quick trades and move out once you see momentum getting slow. Yeah, just that was enough indication for you to get out of that trade, that buy trade we were in. So by that time, I think I was not even on the charts. So I hope you guys took profits right here on Friday. All right, so let's first delete all that right there. Then these levels, we don't need them anymore. Delete all that. So come here. So we saw break of structure, but then it gave again a change of character right here. It gave a change of character right here. This is one of my horizontal trend lines that was indicating some previous confluence on the left, so I can delete it now. Now looking at that, looking at this was like a change of, actually that was a change of character on H1, and then price gave us that breakout from the lower high there, and then it came, tested that level, but it failed to break that previous level. That was a resistance right there. Now when it failed to do that, we saw price kept coming there, hitting that level and failing to break it, and then going back up until it finally broke out and continued with the sales. So this was a continuation right there. That was a continuation of the previous trend right there. Right there, it was continuing with the previous trend. Now if I can, let's first see, this is H1, go to H4. Those who remember, I want to remind you this. You also remember I showed you this, that whenever we have something like that, price is going to continue with sales. This was analysis I made way back, I think like let's see how many days back. Yeah, when it gave us that high there, I told you price is going to continue with that, and it's going to first come to this level, then we can start to see some buying moves. So right about now we haven't seen it reach this level. That's why it's still continuing with sales. If I can go to the left, clearly you will see some reason why it has to come there. Right there you will see the reason why it has to come there. There is that order block right here. If I can mark it out, yeah, just mark that red candle right there. That is where price is gonna come to. So if I go to daily and drag to the left, you'll see a lot of levels that prices is actually going to come to. So I wouldn't be looking for buys, since it gave you a break of structure right there on the daily time frame. Even that was a break of structure right there on the daily time frame. So it has to first come here, then it will try to give us a pullback from this level right about there, and probably then it will fail to break the previous lower low. Then we anticipate buys from there, but until then we are selling. We are in a downtrend. So go to H4, that is where price is currently. This is a break of structure right here. That is a break of structure right there. Now if we know that that's a break of structure, first delete this. We already know it. So if you missed the previous analysis sessions, you can go to the channel and look at the previous episodes. So that is a break of structure. This candle is going to close in about 4 minutes, this H4 candle, and the new candle will be starting. And clearly you are really seeing that it were oversold according to CCI. But that is not something that we can rely on. We know this is a break of structure right there. We can look at a pullback, then entry for sales. M15 still showing us that we can wait for this pullback on the break of structure. This can even just take 1 or 2 buy candles on H1 to give us that, and then we can come in with ourselves. So for now, I wouldn't advise you to look for buys, to enter buys, because even getting a clean entry for this kind of a buy, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard to get a sniper entry. But you can wait for when that pullback happens, and then you get into this sell to bring you all the way to this other level. So for now, this is going to be a no-go for me until I have a pullback. So leave it on H1, wait for the pullback. Let's go to Boom 500. So Boom 500, what happened? We first go to H1 and drag it. We come back to Wednesday, so Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday, we knew that's that move. I think we even sold it. I don't remember if I shared that signal, but yeah, that was the one trade that we were looking at to come here. And then probably from there we get into buys. Yeah, we get into buys all the way back there. That was our analysis. Yeah, it was in that channel right there according to M15. Was it a channel? Or can be a flag? So when we saw that, we knew price was going to continue selling, so the sell was on until it got back to that trend line and gave a reversal signal on M15. So this was where you would have entered the buys that we were looking for right there. That was a good buy to reach all the way back to the conference area right there. That conference area right there. So that would have been the move. But then, would that be enough? I think that would have been enough for the day. Those profits would have been enough for the day. So after that, what happened? After reaching that resistance, price deflected. It gave actually a change of character, which never had a confirmation for entry. That was a change of character that never had a confirmation for any entry. Yeah. For you to make an entry, unless if you had gone to M5, then that would have been your confirmation right there. But on M15 you never had entry until it gave you a lower low right here and then gave you a pullback right here. That's where you would have made your entry from. Yeah. So now enough of that, let's go to H1. H1, we saw the breakout, break of structure right there, break of structure right here. Is it enough? Let's go to H4. So price broke out. This is H4. We tested back to that level, then came back, gave us a break of structure, and never looked back for about, let's see, for about 3 days. It has not looked back after that break of structure right here. 1, 2, 3 good days. It has not looked back until yesterday when it gave us a lower low. Yeah, until yesterday when it gave us a lower low. So right about now, we can delete everything right here and look at what we have currently. Delete. And first drag this right here. That was that. And it was hit perfectly. Went up there. According to daily, that was a liquidity level, which was a fair value gap. And after grabbing it, we continued with sales. Now if I do the one on daily, it would be like that. It would be like that. Oh, sorry. It would be like that right there. That is our trend line, our 2 trend lines on the daily time frame. So if we have that, then you know price is going to come right. Our first entry, would be that right there, which is almost hitting it. Then the second would be this. The second would be that right there, and it will be coming to that level. Alright, so I had marked previously, I had marked this level right there, and it is according to weekly. Looking at that level right there, the conference level is right there. It is according to weekly. Now it has reached it, and I think actually it is according to daily. It is according to daily, not weekly. It is according to daily time frame. Yeah, right there. So anyways, we are coming now to the one on weekly, which is this support. One can say it's one can say it's forgetting the word. it's an anticipation of a support level. So it's not yet a support because we haven't seen price react to it, unless if you go all the way here. But right now here, that is an order block, a weekly order block that is likely to become a support level. So for now we delete that, go back to daily. Daily, we saw a breakout. This is just a pullback after the breakout, after the break of structure actually, then continue selling. If I go to H4, I realize that there is that order block and price is right onto that level already. So we need price to get down. So if I go to H1, price has already started to react on that very order block according to H4. So we know that we are likely going to see what? We are likely going to see sells. So if I go to M15, I need to see this. See, price has reacted to that level. Okay, so this is now weird. We are going to consolidate. We are going to see consolidation. We are going to see consolidation. Price is going to be reacting back and forth between here and there until it breaks out and gets us into sells again. We know that we need sells both on H4 and H1, and yeah, H4, H1, and even daily time frame. That is price action. If you're using indicators, they are going to confuse you right where we are currently, because we are in a downtrend, but we need now this consolidation. It's going to try to increase momentum and bring us all the way down below later on to reach this other order block that we need price to reach. All right, I think that's clear. Let's now get into V25 1S. Vol 25 1S. Vol 25 1S. So what happened to Volatility 25 1S? Oh man, this is crazy. Let's go to H4, H1 I mean. Drag it to the right. This was, I think, where we stopped at. Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. This is where we stopped at. So we knew this, the price was going to get there, and of course it got there. Those who followed the analysis on Wednesday, congrats on making that money, because that was a clear analysis right there. Even this on M15, if I can go to M15 even, you'll see it a bit clear. So that was the analysis, a continuation of the previous trend to reach that level, and these were our TP levels, 1, 2, 3. Price was meant to come here and then give us that. So it kept on actually reacting and gave us another kind of structure right here. It gave us another kind of structure. If I can remove this now, you can easily see that we had a structure that I'm talking about. This one right here, that one right there, that was another structure that it gave us. The highs, the lows right here, and of course the TP was this. Well, we are supposed to look for that TP right there, and that would have been that level. You can see it clearly. It hit it, but of course we needed the one that we had when we had this move right here, when we had that move right there. This was the TP that we were looking for, right there, to reach there, and it reached it later, so in the same day. So you could have taken, let me see how many trades here. This one, when we knew it was coming back and forth, this was a trade right here. That was a trade. When it came all the way here, that was a trade there. Let's delete these ones right here. Delete everything. Yeah, delete that. So when it came here, that was a trade. When it came again here, that was another trade, because we knew that it was already in an uptrend. When it came back here, down here, that was another trade to reach there. But then when it broke out and retested here, this was another trade, because we knew that it was coming right here. So that was another trade right there. So let's say you kept on moving out when it would have hit, when it could hit that trend line, then you could have made about 3 trades on that day, of all of them being buys. So enough of Wednesday. Let's now look at today. All this has to go, even this, delete. That is a resistance. Is this support still working? Let's look at that. H1, H4. This, take it out. This, take it out. That, we still use it. We still have it there. So just drag this all the way to this. Alright, so we have our resistance up there. We have our support right here. This is H4. We have our change of character right here. Confirmation right there. And then we have our break of structure right here. We have our lower low. Now it's coming here to give us a lower high according to H4. Alright, so that is now clear. You know the trend, we know the trend. Let's now get to daily time frame. Look at that. Why are we still looking for buys according to daily time frame? Because of this. Because of this move. But is it ideal? We saw a break of structure right there according to daily time frame. That was a break of structure, but then it went back into this channel. Would that be a channel? Let's do this. If we do that, that becomes a rising wedge. But then we see the previous trend is a buy, which tells us that we actually still buying according to what we are seeing. But if you go to weekly, you will see that was never a break of structure. According to weekly, that breakout there, that is not a break of structure, which tells us now that that's a fake breakout. According to daily, there was a fake breakout to now get us into sales. So I can easily first delete everything here. Before I delete it, okay, you can delete this. We needed this move right there to give us a continuation right here, but it seems not to be coming through. So for now, I am not going to be looking for that. I'm going to follow what I'm seeing on H4, which is a downtrend, and this is a break of structure, so this is looking for a lower high, then continue selling. If I go to H1, I have a change of character right here, and I have a confirmation of that change of character into buys right there. It will be clear on M15, and that will be the clearest option for the buy move or for the uptrend move on M15 and H1. But we know that according to H4 it is not an uptrend, it is just a retest, or it's just going to create a lower high right there and bring us back into sales. So how do we deal with this? We wait for price to get back there. So right there, get back there and give us sales. So let's go and get there, then we come in with sales, and hopefully it breaks that previous lower low on H4 and gives us a new lower low. But we know that our first TP will be right there. That's why you want to take your profits, all partial profits, and probably hold the rest of the trade or the rest of the positions that you'll be in. But now I can't enter buys right here. Even if I go to M5, I cannot enter. I have to wait for sales, and sales will be coming right when it reaches that level. Now it's up to you if you want to risk it. If you want to risk this, because this is a break of structure on M15 and it has given you a higher high, and there's some conference right where we are currently, it can decide to react from there and give us sales. You know that it can decide to do that. We are not market movers. These guys can decide to do that. So you need to know that even this can be a level where price can react and give us sales. But you can't look for buy entries right there unless it reacts back to this level and then probably gives you a signal to make an entry for the buy. Then you can make that short buy trade to reach there, to reach this level. But until then, no business with this very asset. Let's now head over to V75, volatility 75. V75, alright, so it kept on playing around that level right here. Okay, so first get to H1. So H1, this was Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday, it was a no-go for us. We couldn't make any entries. We were looking for what? We were looking for sales. We couldn't make any entries because this never became a change of character. So it went all the way back up. So we were never looking for any trades right here. So once we know that, let's delete that. Needed these sales, but why? Let's first go to H4. H4 price was reacting from that order block, fair value gap, which is a daily fair value gap, and it was also reacting to this other one, which is an H4 order block. So we had those two levels becoming our confluence levels, or our range levels. One can say range levels. Price was coming up, going down to this, going up like that, and now we see that it is going back up again. But now, before we get to that, I had my trend line right there, which clearly tells you that price, this was a resistance level on its own, trend line resistance level on its own right there, and we see price has broken out of it successfully and retested it successfully right there on H1. Tested it successfully right there. So seeing that, one can easily know that If you are a big risk taker, you can make your entries even now and then put your stop loss right there. If you're not one of those that love waiting, because it's likely not coming back here. It may be back to that order block, but not here. Yeah, not here. So you can decide to make your entry, but I wouldn't rush them. Why? Because there's a confluence area right there that will be a resistance level. And of course you see why it is so, because of that fair value gap on the left right there. That is the reason why. So you don't want to find yourself in a dilemma and you find you get into trouble of some big losses. So you rather wait. You rather wait for a good clean pullback and then you can make your entry. I would actually wait for when price breaks out there and then it gives me a pullback. That's what I can wait for, and then look for some buys to take me where? To take me back to that fair value gap level, which is now a resistance level right up there. So for now, I'm not having any business with this. I rather leave it. I rather leave this. But we've already seen that price broke out perfectly, retested. Now it's going in for the buy. It's going in for that kind of a buy. So you need to wait for the entry, perfect entry for that kind of a buy. It will come. It will present itself. So I would anticipate something like this to first give me a breakout on that resistance level, and then a pullback probably here, or probably even back here, or whichever it comes first, and then you can make your entry, perfect entry to take you right up there. So for now, no business on V75. Jump 50, I'm already in sales. I've been in sales since last night. Yeah, it's first go to jump 50. We look at why are we selling. So jump 50, this is the reason why we are selling. First go to, we are already on H1. So we had what? This is Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday we were looking for buys clearly on Wednesday, but it never gave us an entry after breaking that level. It never gave us an entry to actually get into a good clean buy. And in fact, when it gave us this, we were supposed to even look for sales. You can see what we were waiting for, just that kind of a short trade to reach the level we wanted to make our buys from. We never reached it. Those who remember, this is a level right there. That is a fair value gap on the daily time frame. It never reached that level. We needed to enter buys from that fair value gap that it left back on daily time frame. We haven't seen it yet. But I believe, since we are not market movers, price can still bring it all the way back here. Why? This is a liquidity gap. This is a level that price cannot easily leave back, and it is on a daily time frame. We know that at a certain point price is going to still come for it. So I can easily now delete all this, but I will extend my fair value gap all the way here and my arrow and wait, because I know it's gonna be selling very soon for this very liquidity to grab it. It's gonna be selling, and once it hits here, the buys are going to be extremely volatile to take us right there. This is the move I'm talking about. Once it hits that level, the buys are going to be extremely volatile to get us all the way up, back up there, because we've been waiting for so long. But then we have to be patient for this very move to come around. So until then, let's go to the lower time frames. So we've now seen why we are in that kind of a buy. This was a change of character right here, right there. This is our previous, this is our lower low, lower high. No, this is our change of character, not that one. This is our change of character right there. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Yes, lower. This is our lower high there. Then it fails to give us a lower low. Now we get a change of character retest. Now a higher high, higher low, higher high there. But it is short-lived. Why? Price has reacted to that level right there. That is a fair value gap. That is another fair value gap according to H4. That's where price has reacted from. Now, since we've seen that, delete that, delete this, delete this. What is this? This is on daily time frame. Not really. So what is it? Delete it. We don't need it. Go to H4, come to H1. Now, having reached that fair value gap on H1, yes, on H1, we now saw that as a fair value gap right there. We now saw that as a change of character right there. That was a change of character, but it was not confirmed yet. So price reacted back up again, and now we see price has started to sell. Now there's a bit of conference here. That's why you've seen me put my TP there and you've seen me do this. Price is likely to come here first tested, but if it has good enough momentum, then it will break it, because this is a weak support. That's a weak support. So it will be able to break it if it comes with enough momentum. But if it fails, then it will do this, go back, then come with enough momentum to break this and continue with sells. So you need to know that. That's why I mean sells. All right, so if you're waiting, if you want to trade this today, clearly it's going to come again with some buys. So I think I can first close my trades here. According to M15, it's likely to come again with some buys. According to M15, by H1 we are still selling. Price is below our 10 MA. Even right here, price is below our 10 MA. M15, M5, price is below our 10 MA. So sales are still on. So for now, I wouldn't be looking for buys until price reacts all the way to this level right there. Then I can start to think of some buys. But for now, not really. We are in for sales. Let's wait for this this current candle to close. Then we can know whether this level is holding up. It's a sort of a fair value gap on M15 actually. It's a fair value gap right there on M15. We'll see if it is going to give us some issues not to continue with sales, and maybe it will give us a reaction back up, but we will wait and see. But for now, according to H1, I see sales continuing. Let me know what you're seeing in the comment section right there, and we look at how to trade this. So for now, that is enough on jump 50. Allow me to go to jump 25. So what happened on jump 25? H1 come to Wednesday. This I think was Wednesday, so we wanted a pullback there, then we come in for sales. That is clearly what we needed on Wednesday. Yeah, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday we wanted this price to give us that, and then we come in with sales. So if I go to M15 and make it a bit clearer, we needed this to get as a change of character, then we come in with our buys, but we never saw it. We never saw it at all. Price, yes, reacted to that level, but then probably this could have been your entry for the buys right here when it gave us that. Let's see on H1 how it looks like. Not really. Still, it would have been crazy for us to get a clean entry, unless if you had entered right there as a sniper entry right there, but it would have been a bit crazy for us. I think we could. Let me first delete that also, because we've already seen what we needed. Delete that too. So what was it was crazy for us to get that entry. Yeah, it was very crazy for us. We could have probably entered from here, from this support on M15. Yeah, but then you can clearly see that it came again, tested that same level right there, tested that same level, then went back again to buys. That was on a Friday, no, Thursday. This was now Thursday. It went back into buys and reached our TP level, and then the sales began on Friday. Friday sales began. They gave us a change of character Friday right there, tested it, not that much clear, but it tested that level, like gave us a confirmation of the change of character, and it was even some sort of a channel, which is a descending channel, and that could have given you this very move on Saturday. This was Saturday now. You could have seen this move which started actually on Sunday, and clearly it is now hitting the TP level right there. It is now hitting the TP level, and this could have been your entry early morning. This was like last night around what time? This was last night around this morning. This was this morning, 4, 5, 6, around today 6 a.m. Today 6 a.m. This could have been your perfect entry to have this kind of sell. Yeah, today 6 a.m. that would have been your move. So enough of that now. We've now seen all that, how we've missed all those moves, so we can delete everything right about now. Bring us back to H4. So now we know that, so it has come here. What else do we know? We're looking for sales. Yes, according to daily H4, according to daily time frame, we are within that channel, and we wanted a pullback here, and then we continue with buys, and that's what is happening according to daily time frame. That is a pullback to this fair value gap on daily time frame, and it is happening just like we had anticipated. So how are we going to trade this? Now we are talking, this is a breakout structure right there. You know what it is clearly. You don't have to scratch your head to look for how you will be entering this trade of a sell to reach this fair value gap. So all you need is a pullback, and then continuation of sales, continuation of sales. That's it. There's nothing else you need to look for, because you know that it is going to give you a lower high, whether it wants or not. Once it gives you a lower high, then you come in with your sell. Please forget about the indicators. Indicators are going to show you something different. We are dealing with price action. We are dealing with market structure right here. And that is clearly what you're seeing. The trend, we are in a downtrend, and we're looking for lower lows and lower highs. And that's what you need to wait for. A lower high, and then confirmation of entry. Probably it's likely to come to that. Probably that is a liquidity left back on M15. Yeah, it can easily look for that, or come to the breaker broke, which is this level. This is a breaker broke. That is our breaker broke right there. So it can easily come to that, or to that on top. So you need to know that. I think now you get to know what we are looking for. So go back to H1, have those two levels cleared, and wait for that. That is how we are going to trade this asset today. Jump 25. Lastly is our jump 10. Jump 10, let's wrap it up with jump 10 and we call it a day. So jump 10, yeah, I think I gave the signal of a buy the last time we traded on Wednesday. Yeah, the signal of a buy. Sorry, even on Thursday I gave signals for the VIP guys. When I returned, I gave some signals for the buys. I don't remember which ones yet. I have to first check on the group the ones I gave, but I remember the buy because we were looking for this buy for so long. So the buy came through, having consolidated for several days. Right here it eventually broke out and the buys began for some good time. All right, so I don't want to go back to Wednesday to sort out everything because it is very clear. You can see that. Let me see. This is what, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday was that we were already looking for the buy. So this never happened. We started to consolidate, but then we consolidated when it was giving us one can say that is a flag, one can say it's a falling wedge, whatever you want, but yeah, that was a TP level right there. Now it happened right there, gave us a resistance to work with, gave us that. There was a weak resistance that led us into some other short that was a whole day of consolidation actually on Thursday, on Friday. On Friday, consolidation. Then Saturday, that's where everything began. After coming back here, then retested right there. That was where the buy entries began from. Good swing buy entries began from that level. So that's where you could have made your money from, because you knew you were looking for buys. All right, so the buy started, then reached here. Of course, that was like a flag, a channel, but if you look at this, that was a flag. If you look at what, okay, it's a bit vague, but if you go to a lower time frame, you will see it. Yeah, that was it right there. You go to lower time frame like M15. Let's go to M15. Yeah, M15 is right there. You could clearly see what it was doing, what market was doing right there. Right there, that was it. Fake breakout, then started to play around here, and then look at that. Price broke out and continued with the buys. So come back to H1. We saw that That was a short pullback. Then another pullback yesterday. Yesterday gave us another consolidation. Yesterday gave us another consolidation to work with, and we've just missed to work with this morning. We could have taken the trade, yeah, right there, when it reacted back where? To that fair value gap. One can say that one right there, yeah, to that fair value gap. Price reacted to that, did not come all the way here, it came to that one right there, that fair value gap, and then breakout. And this was a flag, of course. This was a flag. If you can see that, that is a flag, and you know that it's looking for this TP right there. That is a TP it's going to look for. That is a TP it's going to look for. It's taking us all the way up to that level. Now it has found some weird resistance, so let's talk about that. Delete everything down below here. We don't need it. We don't need it. Delete even that trend line. Bring it to H4. Delete this. Let's clear the chart. Let's clear the chart. What is this? This is a fair value gap. Price, remember, on H4 it had not reached. Yes, it reacted to that fair value gap, but it had not reached 50%. Apparently, it has reached it. As you can see, it has reached that 50% that we wanted it to reach and then get us into sells. But somehow, it's still having some buy momentum. It's still having some buy momentum. So, we go to H4. We go to daily time frame. What else is up there? Why is it still having a buy momentum and it's likely to get to our TP level? There is that order block. You drag this and it is part of that resistance up there. So there is that. You can see why actually price is having momentum reach there. By the time it reaches there, CCI will be showing us we are overbought. And that's when, according to daily time frame, we will be now getting back into sells. We'll be getting back into sells. So get ready, because we are still in a buy trend. We are still in an uptrend. We are still looking for buys. So if we know that we are still looking for buys, let's now get back to H1. It's going to look for a pullback. First, bring this about here. Let's see, why are we looking for the pullback on H1? It has not reached this 50%, so it's likely to come for that 50% of the fair value gap, and then we get back into buys. So I can easily do this like that and bring this right here like that. Alright, so that's something I can anticipate. If I go to M15, will it make sense? I believe it will make some sense. So let's wait and see. I can easily make it even a bit smaller and make it according to M15, and then drag this down to 50% of the one on M15, and then wait for this. Wait for that. So those who love risking, then you can risk for a sell right here to take you here. Yeah, of course your TP level, your first TP will be that level right there. If you're a scalper, then that could be a good sell, a risk sell to take you down below, knowing that you have some resistance right here that is likely going to be broken now. That is some resistance you're having right there. It's likely going to be broken and then give us this level right there. But enough of that. I think that is enough on V25, jump 10. Now we can go to the recap and then we call it a day. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. You can go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, you can still go ahead and subscribe for the first time. And of course, don't forget to hit the bell button to allow notifications so that you be notified whenever we go live or whenever we post a video or a short. All right, let's now do the recap and we call it a day. So we started with crash 500. All right, we wanted this. Price gave us that. Oh, wait a minute. This is M15. Did it give us what we needed? Yes, breakout, then pull back there, and we started again to sell. Okay, it has actually done what we wanted. But then, do we enter? I believe not. According to M5, we are not entering yet. So, not yet. It's likely to go back up there. So for now, I have no business unless if it breaks, if this candle breaks out. Yeah, unless if this candle breaks out this level. All right, that is on crash 500. If you've missed the analysis, you can wait until the stream ends and then you can go back to it and look at what we talked about this. Boom 1000, we want the pullback there, then the entry. Because we are in a downtrend, we are looking for sales. So for now, wait for that. Boom 500, something like this, and then we get back into sales. Yeah. According to M15 and H1, that's what we are looking at. But if price decides to break this level, then you know that you're not market movers. We are not market movers. Then you can only follow what the market movers are giving you. V25S, it is reacting on that resistance, like I had said. But it's likely to get all the way up and then we come in with sales. But if it gives us an entry here and gives us a reversal entry to bring in sales, then who are we not to get in? So we wait for whatever happens, because this is also a confluence area. V75, yeah, this is holding. So this level is holding. We can't do anything until we see a breakout. We can't do anything until we see a breakout. So we may see a consolidation between this level and this level, or we get a breakout. Once we get a breakout, we anticipate a retest either to this level, which will be a retest to the breaker block, and then we get into buys, or a retest all the way back to this order block. Note that and be ready. Jump 50. I'm already in profits already. I told you we are selling it, but I said according to H1 we are continuing with sales, but on M15 we might see some retest to get back up. Yeah, because it had touched that trend line, so it can easily get back into buys to come to the other trend line. So now that I see something like that, I can easily close all my trades. I had multiple trades in it. I'm going to close them. It's not happening right now. So that's what is happening. Jump 50, but we know that sales are coming. Whenever it reaches to that level, you're coming in with sales. This was a change of character on M15, on H1, but then we are currently seeing M15 trying to do what? Trying to reverse to get us all the way into buys, but we will wait for that. Remember, the previous trend is a buy, so that's why we are still highly looking for buys, highly bullish. So that could be where we are headed. So you need to know that. You need to know that this is just a short pullback to come back to this conference area, then we get into buys again. All right, enough of that. That is jump 50. Jump 25, we want this, and then we get into sales. So until then, no business with jump 50. Jump 25, we want this, and then we get into buys. Until then, we have no business. This is jump 10. Jump 25, that's what we did. This is jump 10. Pull back here, we get into buys. Period. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if it is your first time to be here. Let's grow this community together, and as we keep on trading together. If you want to register for VIP signals, you know what to do. You can register. You can wait for next month. We have started the third week, meaning we are remaining with 2 weeks, counting this week, to finish the month. So you can pay half if you want to still join us, half of $15, or you can wait for the month to end and subscribe. No pressure. You can wait for the month to end and pay for the whole new month of July. Let me wish you guys a good day. Already we are undergoing mentorship class. The mentorship class, those who love to learn how to analyze like me, to trade like me. We're already we are going to be starting the third week today. We've already covered a lot, so I can't tell you to now come along and join the class, but I can tell you to register to come in my inbox. You register for July and be part of that July class. That is $110 if you want to be in a general class. Then if you want a one-on-one, which is a VIP class, and you determine your own hours of study, then you pay $300 for that. Let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. Happy day. See you tomorrow same time, 10:30 to 11:30. Bye-bye.